Hey, how we doing, guys?
Morning, everyone.
Joe here.
Gavin.
Crazy ex-girlfriend. So the last episode might have been hinting at a rather dark episode, or at least some dark times coming up here for Rebecca.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
with the she's kind of caught those feelings again, those little intrusive thoughts
For yeah,
over Josh and Nathaniel.
yeah. We definitely had signaled a relapse, right? With
Yeah,
Josh and Nathaniel. It's like, oh, old patterns of falling back into I'm secretly in love with somebody that out of the blue, out of nowhere. There's a solution to my problem right there the whole time, and the simple fact that it's both of them is this isn't the first Rebecca love triangle either,
no,
because we had it with Josh and Greg before.
we did, and I really hope that they do this in a different way because we've been here before. I know it's the last season, and everything was very happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, we knew there was going to be something,
Yeah,
right?
they made it 7 episodes in.
Right.
Let's see what happens. I mean, I think it'll be different. I don't think it'll be like it was before, but I definitely think that we're gonna have a no Rebecca no moment in this episode.
I think so too, but
Yeah.
I don't think it can be the same as before because I think Rebecca's just not the same person.
And the
I,
show is smart enough to do
right.
it that way.
I don't think that she's capable anymore of spiraling like that without catching herself.
Oh boy.
Because when she's baby spirals, she catches herself, right?
Yeah.
I expect baby spirals, maybe even a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be full on. I'm going to kidnap and murder your mother. Like we got to. I'm going to burn your apartment down.
It's funny because it's exactly what she did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
She literally let Josh think that she did. She basically kidnapped her mom to get Josh to talk to her.
You know what? The more I think about it, the more we reference that episode. That might be my favorite episode.
It's insane.
The swim fan episode.
Yeah,
So the show is still in. Even if she does do that, even if
Right.
that does happen, I don't think the show's going to end that way. The show's not going to end ominously.
no way.
So you know what? Screw it. We're in for the ride.
Right.
Let's see. Let's really put Rebecca to the test and see what she's got for sleep.
Right. Let's see her throw some hand grenades at some things that she's working on in her life because she's going to. All people do it. I don't know a single human being that has functional problems, as
Yeah.
we all do, right? They're issues.
Yep.
They could be like, oh, that's an issue. I should fix that, and then it's never an issue anymore.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. It's hard to break old patterns, no matter how much you try. It's hard. Like I'm going to be better about X,
Yeah.
and the more you run towards that, the bigger the explosion is.
Yeah. And if you know what, if the show wants to kidnap Mrs. Chan again, let's do it. Swim fan.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Honestly,
We
Now
haven't
that
seen her in a while.
Well, because Josh moved out. Since
Yeah.
Josh moved out, we really haven't. So
But the show has such a rich cast of supporting
Right.
characters. I think we will. I think this is the type of show that you're going to see everybody before the show's over. Greg, maybe not.
right, he's
I hope so, though. I really do.
yeah, he's a pretty busy fellow.
Yeah.
With Broadway.
Yeah.
All right, we do want to walk through the Patreon subscribers for the last 2 days, guys. So Bianca Fauci, Kellen Fabjuice, Yamaga Soko, Jay Wellens, Lindsay Wood, and Matt Harina K. I did better this time than on the last show. Thanks, guys, and welcome. We really appreciate you being here with us.
We really do. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below. And if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
Absolutely. Now, if you want to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. If you would like to get 4 episodes ahead, if you're watching this on YouTube, we are over on Patreon, so that's a good way for you to get caught up to where in real time.
Yeah.
So extra episodes over on Patreon, a good way to go. You'll have to sync your own device and watch along with us. We, of course, are watching on the Netflix.
Flicks.
We don't say that about many shows anymore, do we?
We really do.
Everything's kind of leaving Netflix and jumping over to other platforms we have to watch.
Everything has a streamer now.
Right? All right.
Prepping and repping. My 10-year high school reunion is coming up and I'm stoked.
Prepping and repping.
I may not have mentioned, but I was prom king. I'm good at it too. During my rule as prom king, I ruled.
I believe that.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you're the best.
She's doing it, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Focus up. Focus
Yeah.
up.
It's okay to have a crush on him, but she has no sense of moderation. It's either 0 or 100.
I couldn't be roommates with an ex.
No.
Wow. You're being so, I think
Nice.
the word is thoughtful. Dare I say, generous.
So
You like Nathaniel.
Don't shut up! God! Nathaniel is over. Josh is over.
It feels like season 2, by which I mean spring. Text me back.
That's funny.
That's
That's
really good.
really cool.
How long are you here for?
For the rest of the series.
Oh.
I mean, Thanksgiving.
That's funny.
Christmas.
What's wrong? What's that face?
What face? There's no face.
There's
There's a face, yeah.
Huh.
So they definitely know this is the final season, then, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
I think it sounds like it was a planned final
Yep.
season, which good for them. I love when shows go out
I
on
do
their own
too.
terms.
Okay, based on your face when you were looking at the guest list, my
That's
guesses are
best
we're
list,
dealing
for
with
sure.
a frenemy, a nemesis, or an ex.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
definitely
an
Josh. then.
ex. I am on it. I am gonna
It's so
figure
funny.
this all out.
You are the worst.
And this is the best.
I want to meet this heartbreaker.
Haha, she's here.
God, stop. Why do you care?
I'm an old married lady. The romantic intrigue part of my life is over forever.
You've been married for 5 minutes.
No, and I'm so happy.
Oh, disaster. I'm having feelings for both Nathaniel and Josh.
What happened?
Am I
It's
can't
actually
believe I'm
pretty
saying
accurate.
this. Am I
That's actually
meant
what
to
she's doing, yeah.
be with Nathaniel or Josh or both or neither?
Neither.
Either.
You're meant to be with Greg.
Wait, you think that? I totally think
No.
that.
Everyone
Yeah.
thinks that.
Did you say Greg? Greg from 2 years ago, who we all haven't seen and literally never talk about? That Greg?
Did he graduate with these guys? Because he was Josh's friend,
I think so.
so he might be here.
Greg is not the reunion kind of guy, though.
No.
Only
Especially
way,
if he's
the
like in
only way
Louisiana that we
Greg
went to New
would
Orleans, I think.
ever
Somewhere
be
south.
my meant to be is just a completely different person.
Hey guys.
Wait, where is Greg? I don't see him.
They
What?
recast Greg.
They recast Greg.
Right there. That's a completely different person. Right?
Oh my god. We wanted Greg back, but that's so.
I don't feel. I feel weird about this.
I do too.
You haven't seen him in a long time. Of course he seems different to you.
All right, I'd say we refer to this guy as New Greg.
New Greg.
What?
New Greg.
Let's catch up and I can figure out why you're so different. And you're good to catch up with me in like a casual, no.
So, turns out I hate reunions. You just want to catch up
Yeah.
now?
Now?
Sir, you really doing this? You coming for the king?
Oh boy, here we go. Don't push me, Chan. President counts the votes for prom king. White Josh won, but he didn't want it because he thought it was corny. So we gave it to the runner-up.
It's not
I'm
her
gonna tell him
though.
about
Sure. No,
Marco.
I
He's
get
there.
that.
Need moral support. Also, Paula, he seems totally different, which makes no sense.
This is. It's really tripping me out how meta this is.
Incredibly.
This
so.
is the most meta thing. This is like beyond 21, 22 Jump Street meta.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
So you were back in town
Yeah.
and
fair.
Yeah.
no one told me?
Well, I may have asked them not to. I did. Yeah, I did.
Again, I really would love to be friends with you again so much, but there's something I gotta tell you.
Let's not tell each other difficult things. So much time has gone by. You said I seem totally different to you.
I think
So,
that's
clean
reasonable.
slate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I want.
All right.
Okay.
I like that we're getting this, but it's just. It's weird. I'm glad we're getting this. Apology between the characters, though.
Right.
You know.
Sure. I'm glad that the character of Greg is not just gone out of the show
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
Ray Lapler
Yeah.
says, I love you. You need to choose Josh or me. Last day of school, I wrote a letter saying, I choose you. Meet me under the bleachers so we can figure out the rest of our lives. They never showed up. We never spoke. High school ended. We went our separate ways. To this day, we try to avoid each other.
He wants to start fresh, and that's what we're gonna do. We're having the best time. Our dynamic is so much better now. BTW,
Stop texting
are
Paula.
you dead?
Wow, we were really killing this friend thing.
Totally.
That's a
I
great
gotta
name.
go see my dad.
Shout out to Taft as well. I don't know why Taft.
Oh,
Right?
your dad.
Yeah, my dad, Marco. Wait, do you know him? Yeah, so now he's in this phase of recovery where he wants to unburden himself from all the bad stuff he did.
Oh.
He said we need to have some kind of brutal conversation tonight where he, I don't know, tells me he murdered some people and buried them in our old yard or something.
He's gonna be angry and turn back into old Greg. So I'm about to ruin my friendship with him, along with any chance we are meant to be. What am I talking about? Meant to be? Greg, who is not texting me back. Why do you hate me?
Let Paula live her life, man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Come on. Just sticks.
You've
The
had our
letter's gonna
stuff
be in
for
there. She never
12
got the letter.
years.
That's what I'm guessing.
All right. Okay. Let's take it easy on Hector, huh?
Joseph. Father Bra, is this you?
Yeah.
She had a crush on Father Bra.
That's my jacket. I thought I lost that on the last day of school.
My love letter was in his jacket in Hector's trunk for 12 years? Never knew how I felt. I drove him into the arms of Jesus.
Well, I don't think that's how that works.
I gotta get the letter, Heather. He can't read it. It will destroy everything. It's taken me 12 years, and
drove
I'm
him into
barely
the arms
over it.
of
I can't go
Jesus.
back to that place.
Is this George's first song?
I don't know.
Oh, shoot. We spent too much time planning. Look. Oh, dang.
Oh. We're getting juxtaposed bad ideas here.
So far, it's okay. So far.
So far, right.
It was you. I loved you.
Yeah, I know that now.
So where does this leave us?
We missed our shot, V.
Yeah, I guess we did.
It's not my Greg.
It's
All
not
right.
your Greg.
Oh, wow. There you go.
What?
It was one time.
I can't believe that happened. Why did you do that?
Yeah, no, we couldn't believe it either.
I'm just really sorry. Oh my God, what happened? Rebecca, what happened?
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Okay, I really found the meta-ness of this episode to be clever.
Oh,
Like,
very much
beyond
so,
clever.
for sure. They basically let us know how they're setting up the last of the show.
Okay, so recasting Greg.
Right.
I'm not, genuinely speaking, I'm not a fan of recasting.
Sure.
I don't think it always works well. I mean, you have your cases where it does. I mean, obviously,
Game of Thrones had to do it with several characters.
yeah. Also, the big one. I think the biggest recast of all time is what, Don Cheadle as War Machine.
No.
No,
Aunt Viv was the biggest
Aunt
recast
Viv
of all time.
is the biggest recast of all time. And you know what? That worked though.
It did. It
did.
completely did.
And in a very similar meta way, they addressed it on the show. Like,
Yeah.
Aunt Viv was different.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Also, Major League. Shout out Wesley Snipes to
to Omar Epps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one didn't work.
No.
But no, this I'm sure we just have to get used to it
Right.
because it's very different. And Greg was one of our favorite characters.
I think that's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
Is the fact if you told me Greg was going to be back, I'd be very excited because Santino Fontana was going to be back.
Yeah.
Which I definitely want to see more of him.
There's no way at this point. I feel like
I feel like the season was probably written with the hopes of bringing him back.
Yeah.
And when it was like, I can't, my Broadway schedule, my whatever,
Mhm.
I can't or won't do it, then it's like, well, what do we do? Let's just recast it, and we'll call attention to the fact of recasting it.
also I just thought they were going to write around it.
I did too.
Once he
I did
left the
too.
show, they would just close the door on that. I
And they did.
I wanted a moment with Greg and
Right.
with Santino if he'd come back for one episode.
That's what I thought. He might come back for an episode. Yeah.
Exactly. And really
The
wrap
Office
that
did it.
character. Exactly. The
Right.
Office did with Steve Carell for literally he was in it was
The
like,
finale, I think,
5
wasn't it?
minutes in that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But I get it. Actors are expensive.
Sure.
This is kind of what we wanted, though, from season one. We kind of called that. Rebecca making amends with Greg,
Right.
and we don't know if they're going to have a happy ending together. It's kind of looking that way.
Who knows?
Because he
Right.
said, I'm here for the rest of the series, so we'll see.
They've set up right now. We got about 10 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
For these last 10, they've said who's going to be around for the rest of the season,
They did.
and we've got at least a varying degrees of romantic possibility with 3 different male characters now for Rebecca.
Yeah.
They set it up to where Greg, Josh, or Nathaniel are all romantic possibilities
Not a
moving
triangle
forward.
anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a square.
And I think that's a lot of fun, right? Rebecca's grown up. She is a much better person. She handled that much better. Even
did.
Greg let her know she did.
She did.
But now we're at the end. I like the fact that anything can happen at the end, right? You and I have been surprised so many times by this show in particular, and we
Yeah.
probably will be many more times. I'm kind of curious how everybody else felt
Mhm.
the first time they saw that Greg was back, but he'd been recast. For those of you guys watching, how did you feel about the fact that?
Also, thank you for not spoiling that.
Yeah, nobody spoiled that.
Yeah.
Nobody spoiled that the character was coming back at all, and nobody spoiled that it was going to be recast.
All somebody said was Santino is off the show.
Right.
That's all they said. So I never
Yeah.
expected him to come
Yeah.
back.
Shout out to the people who are watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend along with us for nobody spoiling that, because I was completely shocked by that.
I'm still a little shocked. I think it kind of affected how we watched the rest of the episode. I mean,
It did.
the whole time I'm just like looking at him with
because he was
with
close
those-
but not close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. In fact, the first time they showed him, like at a distance, the wide shot,
I
from
thought it was
afar,
him.
I thought it was. I got very excited because I thought he was back. And then we got. You're the one. You caught it before me that it wasn't him. It's like it's not Santino. It is definitely not Santino.
And I think he's doing an impression a little bit.
Right,
He's,
yeah,
he's,
sure.
He's matching the cadence of his voice.
But it's not like an impression, right? He's not
No.
trying to. He's not like trying to sound like his octave on his speech and everything.
I
which
hope he moves
I
away
like.
from that. I don't want him to do an impression. I want him to
His
get further
new
away
character,
from it.
right?
Exactly.
I know it's a different scenario, but I'm all for recasting characters when it's necessary. And the thing I'm thinking of specifically is like Star Wars and how they keep doing deep fakes
I hate that.
and de-aging.
I hate it.
I think it's terrible.
That's awful.
I think bringing back Peter Cushing and Carrie Fisher after they were dead was terrible. A terrible thing to do.
Yep.
It did not only did it not look good, but you're using somebody's bio presence.
The Carrie Fisher thing was
Without
different though. She was still alive. Well, she was alive when they did it, and then she passed that
Right.
weekend it was out
The
for Rogue One.
Rogue One? Oh, I didn't realize it was the same weekend.
It was the year before last year.
Okay, so that's different.
But still, with Peter Cushing.
Peter
it's
Cushing,
awful.
I was I liked Rogue One. I hated they did that to Peter Cushing.
I think it's overrated. But yeah,
We just recast him.
We recast the
Just
characters.
recast him.
There's-
I'm tired of seeing Mark Hamill being de-aged on The Mandalorian as Luke Skywalker. Recast him. Sebastian Stan has been thrown around as a good replacement possibility for years. Just do it. Just have somebody else do
The
it.
actor who stands in for CGI Mark Hamill looks like Mark Hamill.
That's fair.
And they keep putting stuff on their faces. But you're right. Recasting is
It's tricky. I get it.
it's a performance.
It is a
You don't
performance.
want to cover it up with computer crap. You know what I
Right.
mean, just let the actor act. And I think this guy, which we've only seen for one episode.
One episode, sure.
and I don't know what the actor's name is.
If he's going to be in the last 10, I think we get past it. You know what I mean? I think we kind of forget about it and move on.
And the thing with performances as actors, they make it their own.
They have to, right?
You know what I mean? Even if you were to cast somebody as the Peter Cushing role in Rogue One,
Right.
they would have made it their own,
And which is what you
and
want.
it would have been distinct. That's what makes these performances memorable, is the
Right,
distinction
absolutely.
between characters.
Right. Everybody who's played the Joker is not playing the same Joker, and we all appreciate that more.
Except for Jared Leto. But yes, you're
Right.
You're right. It's you have to differentiate, right?
Yeah, you do.
And I think they're going to do that. I think that we had a very similar tone to old Greg with this new Greg in this episode, and I think as the rest of the show goes on, he's going to make it his own a little bit.
Sure. Speaking of that, one movie that just recast everybody that I thought did it very well, Doctor Sleep.
I agree with you 100%.
Bringing new characters in to play
100%.
the characters from The Shining.
Yeah.
I thought they nailed it. They made it their own. It wasn't distracting. I don't know the actress who played Shelley's character.
Yeah.
Shelley Duvall's character.
Yeah.
But she nailed it, and it wasn't like I'm seeing a bad impression.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Because they don't look like them at all. They're just playing the character. They look like them as they're dressed,
right.
but their faces are very
Exactly.
different.
Henry Thomas didn't do a bad Jack Nicholson
he did
impression when
not.
he was doing Jack Nicholson.
No, he did
You
not.
know, and I appreciated that. Just recast.
Just recast. It's in purpose of the story.
Right. Absolutely.
Um,
So yeah, it was the reason that this one shook me a little more than those
Mhm.
is because it was possible that Santino came back. He's still him. He's still alive. He's still working.
Exactly.
He's age appropriate for himself now because
Exactly.
it's the same show.
Yeah.
He could have come back and done it, which is why it's like a little more jarring.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to do it, and you need Greg on the show. Thank you for just recasting it.
And I like how they did the setup too. If it was some sci-fi universe where it was him but not him,
Not him. Yeah,
it's like, oh no, are they gonna
they're
do it?
aware of it. They've made a lot of jokes in this show that I feel like were things people had said online about the show.
Yeah.
Like people are afraid we're getting too cutesy and repetitive, you know.
So I said earlier, this is as meta as 21 or 22 Jump Street.
Absolutely.
Which in my mind, that's the most meta thing I can think of.
It's pretty meta.
I feel like this kind of jumps over that a little bit. I think this might be the most meta thing I've seen.
Arrested Development was pretty meta.
I never finished it. I never really finished it. That's a show that I want to go back to. But what else is the most? Well, I'm trying to think of the most meta thing out there. Scream, I guess. I mean,
Rick and Morty is pretty meta, but I mean,
Okay.
they're getting into animated stuff that can be as absurd as it wants.
sure.
So generally, when you get into meta stuff, it's locked into absurdism like that.
Yeah.
But this is a fairly straightforward show
Mhm.
where that we do it every once in a while, but Not to this extreme.
They're doing it more often.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They keep
I-
addressing the series.
I think it's fan service. You know what I mean? I think it's fan service in a good way.
What also, I think absurdist is a good point too, because the show is kind of from Rebecca's perspective, so it's kind of like
I mean,
what
it's a
is
musical
real?
in her head, for God's sakes.
Yeah, it's like,
right.
what is real, what's not real,
Right.
and so adding that, it doesn't make it an unrealistic show.
Mhm.
It just adds to the, oh my gosh, how it can be disorienting sometimes.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm here for it.
I am too. Like I said, I think this was jarring because we thought if Greg was coming back, we'd see Santino. The fact that we're not now, I think we processed that a week, and I think we just buy him as Greg starting next week. I really think that's how it works.
And I think, you know what, you don't bring Greg back unless you're gonna have.
He's going to be an important part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's not just there for this one episode, right? He's not there to say, "Hey, Rebecca, you're doing better." Like, well, we knew that without him saying it. So yeah, he said he's back for the rest of the series, rest of the season. Which of course runs through Thanksgiving. I mean, through Valentine's Day,
which is
pretty funny,
pretty
right?
perfect, yeah.
Absolutely. Which is about what the series would, what a TV series would run, right? Going into summer break.
Yeah.
So it all makes sense. I'm looking forward to these last 10 episodes a lot because, as we've set it up now, anything can happen going forward with Rebecca.
All bets are off. I'm not going to make a prediction at all.
I have no idea. We've made a lot. We've even made predictions how we think the series will end.
Yeah.
No clue. I have no clue now where they go.
We didn't get a lot of Nathaniel either in this episode.
Nope. Just there to remind us that Rebecca's love triangle just grew by one.
I took Nathaniel as being Greg's replacement. And in
I did
many
too.
ways, he is a lot like Greg.
I think he was Greg's replacement
Yes.
initially. But now they get to the end, it's like, we don't need how about we just bring Greg back too?
And I said that at the beginning of the episode too. We're going to see all the characters we've seen before. We really are now. You know what I mean? It's like they brought back freaking Greg for God's sakes. You know
They
what I mean?
did.
And we can end there. We can talk about it more later.
Yeah, we'll very excited to catch you on the next one, guys.